Hello, hello. Okay, welcome to Maps. This first video, we're just going to talk generically about maps, what they are, and how we can use them, and the methods that we can use on them. Maps are designed to store values using some sort of key that we use to look up the value. And so you'll see that they have keys and values. And the keys must be unique, and the key and the value, each one can be any type of object. So on the quick reference sheet, we'll see this kind of notation like you see down here, where the K represents the key and the V represents the value that's stored in it, the type. So the map, the underlying structure of a map can be either a hash map or a tree map. So either there's some sort of hashing algorithm on the key to find the location of the value, or the data is stored in a tree map structure, so in a self-balancing binary search tree. So the hashing algorithm, remember, lets us find something in O1 runtime. So I do that math on the hash code, and I'm immediately brought to the index value where my information is stored. The tree map is going to allow for a search at O log n runtime, but remember, when I display the data and access the data, I'm going to be able to access it in a sorted order. So down here they have the summary to summarize that the hash map is faster but unordered, and a tree map is slower but the data is ordered. So we will answer these two questions about accessing a map as we walk through the code down here. So if you have your green sheet while we walk through the code, that could be helpful. I will try to bring it up as a reference as well. So here on the back of the sheet, of course the front looks like the back, right? So on this side of the sheet where we have the set, down here we have the map, and we can see map as an interface, and that hash map and tree map interface or implement that interface. And so these are some of the commands we're going to look at. I don't think we're going to do any remove today, but we'll look at some of these commands as we walk through there, as we walk through this code. So here you can see this is here's the map interface, and we can see that the key value is going to be a string, and the actual value is also going to be a string. So you can see the first item inside the angle brackets indicates the key, and the second item indicates the type of value, and both of these types can be any type of object. So here's the name of this particular map, and you can see that the underlying structure is going to be a hash map. So quick access but unordered. So here you can see example of, we take that map and we put something in it, and if you look at your quick reference, you can see when you put in that you put using the key and the specified value. So it's going to put that value in using that specified key. So you can also see it says that if something is already there, it's going to return what was formerly there. So this goes back to the fact that we cannot have duplicate keys. And so if there's already a value in there at a specific key, if I try to place something in at that key, it will go over top of it. So it's almost like a set or a replace from an array list, and it will send me back the value that got replaced. So we don't have to worry about that in this example, since all the key values are unique. So Othello is the key, and it is being used to store the value green. Macbeth is a key. It's being stored, being used to store the value red. And then we put Hamlet in the map, or Hamlet is the key, and we use that to store blue. And then we check. So here's one of the commands that's available with a hash map. is this contains key method, and it will tell you whether the specified key value exists already in the map. So if we ask this question, this would be false because we haven't added Lear to the H hash map. And so since that is false, we're going to go ahead and put Lear in with black. All right, so again, so this would be false. So here when I ask if it contains the key Othello, that's going to be true because we had put Othello up here and we did not remove anything. Okay, one of the methods we use, we can use to access the data or to set up the data is this key set method. And the key set method, if you look at your reference, you can see it right here. And you can see that it sets back a set of the key values, so of the key value type. So this is indeed an entire set of those key values. And so in this case, in the case of H, this key set, this set of values that got sent back to me would be Othello, Macbeth, Hamlet, and Lear, because those were the key values of H. If I print the set, remember set has a two-string, so it would print those values, Othello, Macbeth, Hamlet, Lear, in any possible order. It's going to depend on that hashing algorithm, how I access them, and it's not in any particular order. We can see that I can also use that key set to build an iterator. So remember that a set can create an iterator. So if I go back to the quick reference, key set returns a set, and then I'm up here in the set section, and here's that iterator method, and it will return to me an iterator for that particular set. So in this case, I get the set of keys, and then I'm going to iterate over those key values using this iterator called IT. So here's my iterator syntax. So while the iterator has something else, I'm going to use the next value from the iterator to get something out of the hash map H. So for the get command for hash maps, you can see here that you have to pass it a key value and it will send you back the value at that associated key. So for example, if I had Macbeth as the first key in my key set, and I'm iterating through, I would get the value at Macbeth, which would be red, and I would print it. The iterator is going to go through and get all these values for the key set. So Othello, Macbeth, Hamlet, Lear, again, in what order I don't know, but it will access all of the keys, and I'll use each of the keys to get the associated value with it. So here on line 20, another map gets created, but this underlying structure is a tree map. So now the data is going to be sorted, not quite as quick access, and yet the data will be sorted. And what's interesting, and kind of a good side note, is that you see here that H is being passed to the constructor. So you can build a tree map by passing it a hash map. And so that's kind of good knowledge to know. It's rather than having to put all these same values into my tree map, I can just load them in from the hash map. Another way to traverse maps is using a for-each loop. So I could have used that up here with the hash map as well. So this is just showing you both ways to traverse. So here, what I really want to get is those keys again. And so here you can see I'm taking the hash or the tree map. I'm getting the key set. So again, that's going to be Othello, Macbeth, Hamlet, Lear. And one by one, I'm putting them in this string str. And then I'm using that str because that's the key to get something out of my associated tree map. Now this time when I traverse and I print out, it's going to be in alphabetical order by key. And so H for Hamlet comes first. So the first value I will get will be blue. So it's not the values that are going to be in order, it's the keys that are going to be in order. So I will get blue for Hamlet, and then this for each loop will print black for Lear, and then LM, yeah, and then I will print red for Macbeth and then green for Othello. So in sorted order by key. Finally here, this is just pointing out that both actually hash map and tree map have a true string method. So you can print the contents of the map quickly by just passing it to printline. It's in a format similar to an array list where the elements are where you have a key and the value, and they're separated by commas or semicolons, but inside brackets. So you can try that out. So this is just the basics of maps. The next video I'll talk about the index maker map application using a map. Okay, happy coding.